For the Most High then shewed them signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. Or read on some more. Because if you go south of Africa, and you go around that horn, it's a current that flow towards the east. So if you travel in the ships, especially them ships they had back then, trying to go west, it ain't going down. It had to be something divine to happen, and that's what happened. It says, for the Most High then shewed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country, it was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half. The same region is called Asa, which we're talking about over here. That's what this place is called. Let me see what's on the read. It says, and then dwelt they there until the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come. And guess who ended up coming over here? Them Edomites. And who they brought with them? Hebrew translators, because they knew what other tribes was at.
Not suffer. But the world has already shown, in the most recent century, if you will, that Germany paid reparations to Israel. That the Japanese who were interred were getting reparations here in America. But what makes it so hard for America to do such is that the Japanese represent a national background as well with Japan. The Israelis represent, their new founding in 1948, a national piece as well. But black Americans don't represent a nation other than America.
Oh, and why is that? Let's get that too. Hey, it's a scripture for it. You can always break some stuff down with these scripts, man. It's in the book of Psalms. This is what I was going to get to before all this. But it's coming out now. But anyway, it's the book of Psalms, chapter 83, and verse 4. Really, I'm going to start at verse 3. It said, they have taken crafty counsel against our people and consulted against our hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off for being a nation. Listen to what he said now. Right, this back. That's why our people not looked at as a certain nation. They call us African American, which both of them names come from two Edomites. The word African, go back to, what's the guy name? Scipio Africanus. Then you got the word American. They go back to Amerigo Vespucci. So who the fuck them people is? And who we really is?
Here in America. But what makes it so hard for America to do such is that the Japanese represent a national background as well with Japan.
And just like, I just want to add to this too, just like whenever a general or some type of warlord go conquer some people or whatever, they'll name them after them. Like with when Spain came down to certain areas, that's why people end up being called Spanish. French go to certain areas and run it. That's why they call it French. It's like down in Louisiana, they got the French quarters and stuff. So they would put their name on people. Our people got conquered. What you think happened?
Israelis represent, their new founding in 1948, a national piece as well. But black Americans don't represent a nation other than America.
But we do have a nation, and we had a name, and the Most High don't return that name to certain men to know this information, actually know where we really come from. Let me go back to where I was at. It's in verse 3 in the book of Psalms, chapter 83. It said, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. Hey, and I must admit, Esau was crafty with that shit. It says, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off for being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. That's why you go to your average person and be like, hey man, what nation you from? What's your nationality? And they're going to be like, oh, I'm black. No, I'm African American. Or whatever they're going to say. They don't remember. Now in verse 5 it says, for they are consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes. And it goes on and on. all these different nations, man. They took this counsel, so we don't remember who we are. Because once we remember who we are and what name to call on, it's a wrap for them. And that's why a lot of this stuff been coming to pass. Like that stuff been speeding up. Everything moving fast. It's moving so fast that when you look at the little psyops and the pandemic, it's damn near see-through. You can see what's up. Like, okay, they being sloppy now because they know the time getting cut short. And I'm going to play the rest of this and we'll pull a few more in this off.
Right. So for America to actually acknowledge that becomes indicting. And so what has to happen is individuals have to just acknowledge we messed up, we have to do something about it. We receive tremendous advantages by keeping another group at a disadvantage.
And they're not going to admit that, man. So, but guess what? The Most High going to set it up. They ain't got to admit that shit. It's going to be evident. Let me go into this. It's in Book of Revelation, chapter 13. Read it on down real quick. This Book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 10. It said, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity." Who put people in captivity? So that means they gotta get they reap what they sow, right? And karma come back, right? Everybody always talking about karma. Oh, put out what you put out, it come back to you. What you put out in the universe, it come back to you. Okay. It says, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. It is the patience and the faith of the saints." Now, side note, that don't mean men gonna go around and go into war with these Edomites. No, the Most High gonna make them wipe their own stuff out. They don't gave these arrows, which are the nukes, to these other nations, and he gonna put the spirit on them to wipe them out. We just gonna slide right on into power. You don't have to do no extra shit. You ain't gotta have no malicious. That's why I say here's the patience and the faith of the saints, because you gotta have patience to even wait and understand that at the same time. Because most people there lack patience and be like, you know what, I'm gonna go take matters into my own hand, and that's when they get wiped the fuck out. Now let me go into something else real quick. It's the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 18. It says, "But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever." And how it's going to be took is simultaneously once the elect get delivered. Let me get this in the book of Revelation. When the elect get delivered and all that destruction take place, everybody not getting wiped out on the earth. That myth with the end of the world, no, it's the end of the Esau world. You're going to still have people that's living, these heathens. Hey, somebody got to build a kingdom, but we not building it up. Somebody got to do some hard labor like we did too. Like you say, hey, those are leaders in the captivity shall go into captivity. And as well as Esau was the forerunner of that, them heathens, they had a hand in it too. Well, let me get this real quick. It's in the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 2. It says, "And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Yahweh out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband." And like I mentioned before, it's not talking about no city floating from out the clouds and landing on the ground. It verifies what it's actually talking about in the next sentence. It says, "And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. And Yahweh himself shall be with them and be their power." So like I said, it ain't talking about no city falling down. It's talking about when the elect come down. When they sing that song at them games, baseball games, Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, how I like to be of that number. Hey, you gonna want to be of that number when that day go down. Because if you ain't of that number, it's gonna be looking real shitty. And it says in verse 4, and Yahweh shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. There shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things shall pass away. Like all this stuff we gotta deal with, paying rent, motherfuckers gotta get help from Esau. Like ain't this a bitch? The same motherfuckers that rape, robbed, and murder, stole all these resources. Then you gotta turn around and still go to them for help. Man, they gotta pay for all that, man. They got to pay, man. Let me get this last scripture in the book of Isaiah, and I'm gonna end this up. This is gonna happen, man. There want no fucking reparations, no damn fiat money. That money might have collapsed anyway, and they about to push the mark of the beast. So what the hell we gonna do with them little reparations? They gonna do put the reparations on the chip. It's in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, and verse. Let's see. I'm sorry, verse 3 it says, and the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Lift up thine eyes round about, and see all they gather themselves together. They shall come to thee. Thy sons shall come from afar, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thy heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted into thee. Hey, that money ain't gonna amount to the abundance of the sea. You know what's in that water? Got emeralds, pearls, diamonds, gold, rubies, sapphire. The list goes on. There's probably stones down there I don't even know about. It says the forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. Oh, and speaking of the stuff down there, I was looking at a video recently. They was talking about a shipwreck that had, what, $22 billion worth of gold on it. So that type of stuff, when the nukes shake up the earth, and they say the earth should reel to and fro like a drunkard, a lot of that stuff gonna pop up on land too. Now verse 6 it says, the multitude of camels shall cover thee, the dromedaries of Midian and Ephah, all they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense. Hey, I'm burning incense now. I can just imagine in that day what type of incense they're gonna be bringing. It says they shall shoot forth the praise of the Lord Yahweh. All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee. The rams of Nabor shall minister unto thee. They shall come up with the acceptance of mine altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory. Who are these that fly as a cloud, and as the dove of the windows? Surely the owls shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from afar, their silver, their gold with them, into the name of the Lord thy power, and the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee. And that's why they're going to do it, because once they see how glorious we do, just like I said, how people in the lower state, they want to do what we do. They want to rap how we rap, dress how we dress, wear what we wear, dance how we dance. So just imagine when the Most High glorifies us. Oh man, they're going to, man, it's going to be high level, man. And I could just break it down, just what's in the scriptures on what it's going to be. Now, it says in verse 10, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and the king shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, because Most High was pissed off with us. He made us to be the top nation on the earth, and here we go, want to go worship Buddha and Shiva or whatever other fucking Molech or whatever instead of him. So of course he's gonna put us in a certain condition. You had to punish us, so we was going off. But it says, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. It said, therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that the kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Because you're going to have nations, they're going to look and be like, we ain't worshiping these niggas. We finna bring none of these niggas. And our spiritual sense is going to be so heightened, we going to, even if they don't say it, we're going to know they speaking in their mind any damn way. Like, oh yeah, okay. Like the scriptures say, yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. Now it says in verse 13, the glory of Lebanon shall come into thee, and the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. And what's the place of his feet? which goes to show this place ain't gonna never go away, because the scriptures do say, "Heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool." So this place ain't going nowhere. That's a little myth. And then you have pastors. They don't let people know this because they want to put that out. Oh, everybody gonna get together and we gonna all be as one. No, when you read this right here, this don't sound like everybody being as one. Somebody on top, and somebody ain't on top. Now it says the sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee. Hold up, I thought everybody's gonna be as one and be holding hands and shit. No, it says the sons also of them that afflicted thee. Who afflicted us? It says, shall come bending unto thee. And all they that despise thee. Who despises? Like, oh, look at them niggas. Them niggas ain't about nothing. They're a bunch of monkeys. Who said all that shit? Who despises us? It says, shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord, to Zion, or the Holy One of Israel. And to Zion is just Zion. That's all it is. I just want to say it like that. It says, whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated. Because we still hate it to this day and forsaken. They trying to give niggas a damn shot. I ain't gonna say it because, you know, they struck my video last time I said that shit. Somebody was medical information, so to speak. I never heard that shit on here before anyway. They want to give niggas a shot and forsake us. Give a nigga a little bit of money and think that's gonna help. That's hate, man. I ain't trying to help out for real. It says, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency, the joy of many generations. It says, thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, shalt suck the breast of kings. Thou shalt know that I, the Lord, am thy Savior and Redeemer, O mighty one of Jacob. For brass I will bring gold, for iron I will bring silver, for wood brass, and for stones iron. I will also make thy officers peace, and thy exactors righteousness. Violence shall no more be heard in thy land. You don't have to worry about niggas talking about, oh, this my block, this my hood, and shooting niggas, and it's probably his fucking brother or cousin. That ain't gonna be going on no more. It says, wasting no destruction within thy borders. Thou shalt call thy walls salvation, and thy gates praise. And that's what's gonna happen, man. I ain't gonna read the rest of that. Like I said, I want to try to chop this down. It was a little lengthy, but you get the point, man. You get the message. So fuck these reparations they talking about. The real reparations are gonna come from the Most High. And Lord's willing, this is edifying. Call all your Habashim, Shalom to the elect.